Whew. 22 watts. 22 watts. Affordable, beastly, and I mean beastly. Heavy, solid, great performer, very informative, very good screen. That is what we're looking at. We're not looking at it today, actually, everybody. First of all, hello, Jay Leone here. We're not looking at it. We are just taking a quick look at it. We're not reviewing it today. I just got it in last night, and I've been using it since, and I'm in love with it. I love the fact that there's something else besides the DNAs out there, because the DNAs are great chips, as we all know, but they are A, hard to get. Not the chips themselves, but the mods with the chips inside them are hard to get. B, the price is just all over the place. I mean, from upwards of, I've seen them as cheap as 170, 180, which is like the Vapor Shark. And then you can go up to, if you want a tube mod, forget about it. A tube mod's going to cost you $215 up. The ZNA is $280. The Hana mods V3s, which are the the DNA 30 chips, those are $249, and you have to be on a waiting list. And for all this, you're waiting for, because nobody has them in stock, and rightfully so. They're hard to come by. So finally, I was let's see, about a month ago, right before my honeymoon and during my honeymoon, I was contacting David from Greenleaf Technology out in China, obviously, and they were telling me they're working on this chip, this mod with their chip, which is the SX200, I believe. That's the 20 watt version, and that is in the Sigelli 20 watt, which some people have seen already. Then there's the SX220, which is the 22 watt edition of that chip, which is what's inside this bad boy. Now, they wouldn't say yet when they're going to have the 30 watt chip available, but it is coming. Supposedly, it's just an upgrade to this. So, awesome, because that means, you know, more power, more power, more power, which is what everybody wants. Excuse me. So, I contacted him, and we talked for a little while, got specs, made sure it wasn't one of those pulse width modulated devices, because that's what makes the DNA so great. It's just straight power, and this is not pulse width modulated. This is straight DC to DC current, straight power, no rattlesnake sounds. It's actually got some advantages over the DNAs and some of the DNA tube mods that are out there. I mean, let's start with, it's massive. I don't have anything, but this is an ego. This is an ego here next to it. I don't have a bigger one, but in the full review, we will compare the massiveness of this to a regular 20 millimeter? No, 22 millimeter device. This is a 30 millimeter device. 30 millimeter, and I gotta weigh it because I want to see how much it weighs, because it feels very hefty. I mean, you can get a workout using this, honestly. There was a time yesterday where I was holding it in my hand, I had to sit down. I was like, damn, that got heavy. But I have it at 20 watts right now. I have my Omega clone on there at 20 watts. I have it at 22 watts. In the full review, we will go over the menuing and the screen and how it looks. I'm going to try to show you what it kind of looks like here, but my camera does no justice. But you can see it says 22 watts there, and it tells me my ohms. It's 0.6 ohm rebuildable atomizer on here, so it's firing sub ohms. And we'll take a 2. And it kicks ass. It just kicks ass. I mean, everything I've put on here sits flush, which is another thing that we're going to talk about, which is great. This has a spring-loaded 510 connection. Spring-loaded. Where are the manufacturers? Why are they not putting these in every mod? Spring-loaded. It needs to be like that. And the ZNA, I heard, doesn't have a adjustable or spring-loaded connection. They need to be adjustable. You need to have a flat connection. Now, this is flat to a point, and I'll explain what I mean in a full review, but it does have a spring-loaded connection. I've poked down there with a flathead, and it does go in and out, so a nice thing it has. It's adjustable from 7 to 22. That's why it's called the 722. That's their name for it. That's what I'm going to go call it the DNA clone plus 2, the DNA 20 clone plus 2. You can call it that too. Whatever you want to call it. It does take a massive battery. I'll show you here the honking battery. Boom. That's what it takes right there. And well, I have an MNKE in there. It doesn't take MNKE. It can take any kind of 26650 battery. Let's see that. Or not. It's 26650 battery. I'm using MNKE. They're 25 safe amp limit that they have. So for sub-ohm, it's good. The only negative I have, and this is only a day of use, that's why I'm not doing a full review yet, is threads on the bottom cap are very squeaky, and you'll hear them. I'm going to get some no-locks probably, and no-locks all the threads of all the ones that I am selling, so this way nobody has to run into squeaky threads, because nobody likes squeaky threads. Besides that, this thing is just a champ. I mean, it's got that gyrometer in there where you're tilting it. It's not the shaky one where you have to shake it to go in and out of menus, and yes, that looks horrible. But you do have to tilt it side to side to adjust, and with use, it's not that bad. To get into the menu, I mean, it's clicking of the button and whatnot. The button is actually fairly nice. It has this like landing pad-ish area. If you remember the Cyborg, it had this landing pad here. So you kind of see it's like a cutout there, which actually fits very nice. So your thumb kind of just rests there. Works out great. Take a couple drags here. Oh, I have to turn it on because I reinserted the battery. Take a couple drags and that's it. That's all I'm gonna give you for today because I want to look at it. I want to test the battery life and the little features that this board has, because this is a whole nother piece we're working with here. This is, you know, similar to the DNA, but it's got differences and it's got its upsides compared to the DNA, honestly. It's got a couple protections that the DNA doesn't have also. That's 22 watts. Yes, very, very powerful. If you want to get it, I'll put the link below. It's my web store. I'm exclusively selling them at the moment. I haven't run into anybody else selling them. I'm sure everybody will be selling them soon enough, because this is definitely a worth it mod. This is definitely, I wouldn't call it a mod you take out with you. It's a mod that you sit on your coffee table. You don't have to worry about the battery life. Just vape away at 22 watts and have a good time. That's it, guys. Jay Leone here once again. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you may subscribe. Until next time, live well and vape on, and check out smilandvapes.com if you're interested in getting one of these. Catch you all soon.